Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a pleasure bringing another episode, the discourses on personality and competency. It would be worthwhile reminding you again why we are not doing a training program. Training program many times ends up being very formal coverage of a syllabus. Discourses have an entirely different approach and different meaning and different objective. We are looking at a wholesome, but howsoever small it is, but the wholesome inside out changes, and therefore discourses is available as a technique for the inner change. We are after all dealing with human emotions, human mind, human intelligence. They are all softwares. So we'll have to touch softwares very softly. If you remember, we were talking about the effect of the second pole being added to a primary trait or in the use. Primary in the sense, not the primary, secondary, tertiary, primary in the sense, the main focus trait. So let us say this time we take an initiator. Okay, he's principally an initiator, very high on initiative, and now he adds inquisitiveness. Now he adds inquisitiveness. So initiation will put him always on the threshold of happening. Okay, he's standing on the threshold all the time. So that is his primal position, and now he's inquisitive. So this would mean now his eyes would further go up and look into the valley of light or darkness, whatever way it is. He's already standing on the frontier, on the threshold, and now he'll look into the valley of the light or the darkness. He wants to inquire what is there. So therefore, this will become a double-edged weapon for all the discoveries and all the inventions. We'll take a case of loyalty. Loyalty is a massive trait. It's a very generous trait. If somebody is loyal to us, well, we must have done something very, very good in our life to earn that loyalty from someone. So he's extremely high on loyalty, and now he's a listener also. Let's add listening as the other backup trait. So what will happen is the loyalty factor in the company of listening would now mean that you're not only followed blindly, you're also followed actively. You're also followed actively. There have been some cases in the past where writers have written 1, 2, 3, 4 books on the same subject, and then they write another book saying that don't follow me on those. I have evolved. That was the knowledge. Atom is the smallest possible divisible element or substance, okay, in the universe. And then we look at electrons, protons, and nucleic fluid, and I don't know, tomorrow we might see photonic fluid also. So the writer says this. Now what happens, therefore, the loyalty will now be also become a function of how much you listen to the person. Because now I'm operating on a dipole, loyalty and listening. And great many researches could be born out of this. I principally adopted a researcher approach to life and living, and therefore I'm very factful many times, at the same time fanciful about research. Please don't mind that. This will aid a lot of research If there's a loyalty, that means you've already assumed whatever you have is correct, is more than correct, is 100% correct, is pure, 24 carats, and now he's listening. That means he will be far more active a listener than many loyal people who end up carrying the capsule everywhere. Now he's opening the capsule and adding new grains to it. He's opening the capsule and adding new grains to it. I think we are aiming for nobility at this rate. Good. If we talk about here, it will be much easier for us to replicate it somewhere else. It will be much easier. Let us say that there is a principal trait called patient. He's very patient. And that is added by peace loving. So you have patient who looks as calm as the snow, as simple as the snow, as white as snow, no expectations, no melancholy. This has not happened, that has not happened, it should have happened. Oh, he's very patient with the situation. So he's in stead with the situation. And his patience is now added by peace loving. See, he's originally a peace lover. He tries to manufacture synergy everywhere. He tries to undo the violence everywhere. He wants to undo the contradictions everywhere. He's peace loving by nature, and now the peace loving nature is getting added to patience. You have almost a semi saint emerging right in your own house. Almost a demi saint or a semi saint emerging. He is patient and he is peace loving. Now, if these two vitalities are added by some more traits, what have you? What have you? You have a champion crusader who sleeps like a saint at night. Can you imagine that beautiful a person? Let's take another. You're positive. You're extremely positive. Now, the difference between, there's another trait called optimism. The difference between being positive and being optimistic is optimism is about things to come in future. What do you expect? But positive is whatever has happened to you, take that as a do you take that in your stride and make some advantage, derive some advantage out of it? Let's say somebody tries to hurt you by throwing a pillow at you. Well, you got a pillow for a good night's sleep. You got a pillow. There's so many people struggling. Suppose you see people in the train and in sleeper compartments, you see so many people are struggling because they don't have a pillow. It hurts them because all the blood comes to the head without a pillow. With a pillow, you are able to direct the head, the movement of the blood. It doesn't come so much in the brain. There's so many people who are looking for pillow. Give me pillow, give me pillow, give me pillow, because they have got a mattress. Because they have got a good pullover. Now they can think about a pillow. But here he's starting with pillow. Oh, my. What a beautiful sleep he's going to have. But it's not easy. You might be more taken aback by the graphics of the moment where the pillow was hurled at you, or the hurtling of the words and expressions as the words and expression hurtle towards you. You might be more busy with that. So when you are able to isolate that from that scene, those odd moments from that scene, you will be able to enjoy the pillow. Now, too positive, let us say we add another trait called qualitative. He is positive, he is qualitative. So qualitative feature, if it has to influence the positive feature, we are looking at positive as the front, as the main driver, and looking at qualitative as the back end driver, not the other way around. Then the situation would be slightly different. Although together things will be okay. Many times, what we eat, A, you eat first, and B, we eat first, or B, we eat first, will change the level of satisfaction about food. It will change the rating of the honor that uh, for which for which you are called over a dinner. It would raise the index of the honor. It might. It might. Technically, it will. It will change. Between AB and BA, it will change. That might sound a little fastidious at this stage, but it is not. It is not. It's clinical. It's a very clinical understanding about life and about the situations, about the happenings, about the episodes. So we add now qualitative trait to positive. Now, qualitative is backseat driving, as I said. So it would mean all the positive thoughts will further go through a qualitative check. Would further go through a qualitative check. And therefore, the learning, the extract, the capsule of intellect would be that much more believable, that much more pricey, should I say, that much more priceless. So, ladies and gentlemen, we looked at the front seat driving versus the back seat driving. What is wrong? If on a family trip, on a drive trip, a drive away from the city, somebody at the back tells you, "Pop, slow down a bit, please. We want to enjoy this left and right. Oh, how nice it is. Could you go a step back?" Obviously, the traffic laws permitting. Could we go back a bit? I want to see that value. I want to shoot there. So there's a difference between a destination and journey, isn't it? There is definitely a difference between a destination and a journey. So if you're having a beautiful journey, you might as well for a few seconds forget the destination. You don't look at a watch and say, "Look, my dear friend, I called you as a guest for 2 hours. Now 2 hours are getting over. We better wind up. Do all the thank you, etc., etc. Pay respect to each other, and that's it." Call your wife and say, "Where are these the small little gifts that we got for his kids? Please give it to them. We are running short of time." It's not going to happen. If you're having good time with your friend, let it go. Right till the next morning, how does it matter? Sometimes we rethink about the destinations based on the quality of journey that we do. Now, this is deeply, violently, aggressively, vibrantly, deeply, violently, aggressively metaphoric. That the quality of journey will decide the destination. Or we can have the destination included as a part of the destination becoming a part of the whole journey. Somewhere we have to go with this togetherness. Somewhere we have to go, and then there is a destination where we have some reason to go there. Maybe a church or a temple, or maybe a resort, or maybe a lake. So these are very metaphoric discussions. I'm sure if it goes to the right intellect and right part of the intellect, it will create mammoth possibilities of better living for all of us. So remember, front seat driver, back seat driver. Thank you very much for being with me. We'll see you again in the next episode. Till that, take care